In this video, I will be explaining how I train for power. In my last video, I explained that your power to weight ratio is the key to jump higher. So if you want to jump higher, you either have to lose weight or just increase your power level.
Vegeta, what did you say his power level is? It's over 9,000! 9,000?! There's no way that can be right!
Losing weight is kind of self-explanatory, and you also can't just lose weight indefinitely, so eventually you're going to just have to increase your power. But also, on the other hand, to increase your power, you're also going to have to increase your weight, because muscle has mass. The numbers don't lie though. Over time, if you train hard, you should be able to see that no matter your weight, that ratio should be able to increase. Although sometimes it can be difficult to tell if you're improving or not. That's why in this video, I will be demonstrating how I train for power. I never do get the good sets on video. I don't plan my workouts, and I haven't for the past year. Planning my workouts gives me anxiety. Seeing a whole list of exercises that you have to overcome is overwhelming. I like to take my workouts one exercise at a time. Instead of planning out everything, I like to prioritize certain exercises over others. The order I go by is basketball, followed by plyometrics, followed by power training, then strength training, and finally isometrics. Do you see the correlation of this order? I usually go from my highest velocity activities to my highest strength activities. The reason I do this is to manage my tendon health. The more you go into velocity-based training, the more your tendons will be taking more of the damage from training. And the more you lean into strength training, the more your muscles will be taking damage. The problem with this is that your tendons take more time to recover, which is why the more my knees hurt, the more I lean into strength training. A normal workout for me would consist of basketball. My knees would probably hurt, so I wouldn't do plyometrics. I would go into powerlifting, followed by strength training if I feel like it, just to finish off. I usually don't do isometrics unless my knees really hurt and I have to. I do realize that the way I train isn't 100% optimal. I don't believe that it has to be. I believe that it's more optimal to train while having fun than training to an exact T. Sometimes I'll play a little bit too much basketball. I won't do enough isometrics, but in the end, as long as you train hard, it should work out. People will tell you that training cardio will kill your power gains. And I do think that is true if you do overdo cardio, which I do a lot of the times. But at the same time, I don't think it's that big of a deal to the overall bigger picture. It just won't be as optimal. But if you do want to optimize your jump training, then stick around because we're just getting started. Because now we're going to get into periodization training. I might be wrong, but I think it was THP that put this style of training on the map. Periodization training is when you prioritize certain types of exercises during different phases or seasons. This training style allows you to directly pick out certain attributes of your athleticism that you need to work on. For example, Isaiah Rivera will go from high velocity strength training at the start of his periodization to at the end of it, he'll be doing high velocity, intensity, and also low volume. The reason why I don't train like this is because I get bored really easily. I guess I'm just not as disciplined. Also, during certain phases, your vertical will go up and down. For example, in the strength phase, your vertical will go down a lot. I don't do periodization training because the one time I tried it accidentally, it didn't work out for me because I did strength training for 3 months straight. And when I went back to playing basketball, I lost all of my skills and it was just a bad experience for me. During this time though, I did see the most strength gains out of any phase of my training, ever. A lot of this was newbie gains, but most of my lifts doubled in weight. I went from squatting 1.5 plates to squatting almost 3 plates. I went from deadlifting 1 plate to deadlifting 3 plates. The list goes on, but my strength gains were insane during this time. I was trying to do like a mini series during the time, but I kind of ended that. At the time, I was making videos of my progress every month. The other problem with periodization training is that, for example, in the high intensity phase, you can't do a lot of volume. So if I want to do like a lot of plyometrics, I can't do that. I have to kind of withdraw from going too hard because if you put too much intensity into your workouts while doing high velocity training, your knees are going to hurt. And when I'm having a really good workout, I don't want to just stop just because the workout plan says to. If I'm feeling like I want to do more, I want to do more. That's why now I go from high velocity to low velocity. That's how I set up every day of my training. So if my knees start hurting, then I'll just go into more strength training. Or if my knees aren't hurting, I'll stay doing high velocity activities like playing basketball, dunking, all that other stuff, jumping, plyometrics. When you're training like this though, it's important to rest your knees when needed and not to overdo things, because that could just lead to you having to take more rest because your knees have to recover from over damaging it. You only want to damage it to the point where you can run and jump again tomorrow. For most people, I would recommend training with periodization, but for me, I like spontaneous training. I think I should call it that, yeah, spontaneous training. I might have disappointed a lot of you guys because I don't plan my workouts, and I know that you guys wanted to know how I train on a weekly basis, but it's pretty much just spontaneous training. The big 3 exercises are always going to be running, jumping, and powerlifting, and then the rest is just all kind of just falls into place whenever I do them. I'm gonna say this in every video though, working hard in the gym is more important than the specific exercise or the specific routine. If you push yourself on a daily basis to jump higher, you will, even if it's not the perfect routine. Just do exercises that are correlated with jumping and do them intensely as you can. And if you have to, slow it down to protect your knees. And yeah, that's about it.